Welcome, everybody, to Thursday Night Throwdown, live from Atlanta Motor Speedway. My name is Ryan Ezel, and always by my side is my cohort in crime, Craig A. Burns. How we doing, brother?
Ryan, we're doing fantastic here at Atlanta. Really excited for this race. These guys are about to put on a show.
Yeah, it's going to be some fun. We'll throw up a little bit of info at the top of your screen there. This here is going to basically be displaying a little bit of their interval times as they are out finishing up practice. I'm showing about 5 minutes left in their practice session, and these cars are hot. The track is slick, and as you can see from the 51 car there, that is a tremendous amount of wheel control he is trying to do to keep that car under wraps. And we all know that with iRacing and their damage model, they have put more time, effort, and money and engineering into the Arca cars to make the damage model the most realistic immersion that they have on the server. And I think they've done a tremendous job as you watch these guys just continue to go through the track. Man, they are leaving everything out there. And Craig, as we recap last week, we were at Martinsville. Now, there's not a league out there that looks at Martinsville, okay, great, this is going to be a fun track, no cautions, good, clean racing. Maybe that's a short track, the old paperclip. And it was full of action all night long. Last week's winner, Brandon Pearl, didn't get it handed to him easily. It was a battle to the end. Tonight, we'll have to see who it's going to be. Is it going to be Clinton Sneed? Is it going to be Brandon Pearl with a back-to-back win? Joshua Abbey? Who knows? But, Craig, tell me what it is. I know you went and tested with these guys on this track in these conditions. What do you think the keys to tonight's race is going to be?
Ryan, it's all going to be about tires. Save your tires. Long run, the car is going to tighten up a lot. You want to save those tires for the entirety of the run. These guys coming into turn one, let off the gas just a little, get the car set. We're going to be looking at the middle to high line all night long. Maybe early on they're going to be down low, coming down the back straightaway. Long in a run, it's going to get bumpy. 20, 25 laps. Bumpy back straight here at the concrete high banks of Atlanta. Coming in turn three, as we watch Wilson. Nope, skipped it. But coming in turn three, they're going to let off a little, dive it back down low, using that middle of the high line again. Hopefully not to get loose coming out of the corner exit, coming back to the start-finish line. That's a lap around here at Atlanta.
But it's going to be hard to do, Craig. These guys are going to have to really use their wits about them. They're going to have to push these cars right to the line of losing control. There's a fine line that in real racing and in simulation racing that everybody really challenges themselves to get to, and it's right to the edge. That's where you're the fastest. You have the most opportunity to gain some track position on your competitors. But it's also, if you push it just a hair too much, you'll lose control. And in an Arca car at a track like this, it will just basically result in disaster if you cross that line, because it's not like you're going to just break loose a little bit. You're going to be able to wheel it back together and regain control and carry on. More times than not, when you go out there on the track and you push the limit and you go over that line, you lose control and there's no regaining. Now, the Arca guys here at Thursday Night Throwdown, they do have one fast repair and 3 total sets of tires. So they'll have the set that they start with, and then they will have 2 more sets to be able to change throughout the 70 laps that we are doing. Now, Craig, what was that term you used for Atlanta? We were talking earlier. What was it called again?
Tire management.
Hot Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta.
Right. They call it that for a reason. Every time it seems like the NASCAR guys go there in the K&N series, the track is stupid loose. This repave is several years old. lot of sun beating down on that track. The rubber will lay down as the run goes on, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get a lot more grip. So the name of the game tonight, like you said, it's going to be tire management. And it's going to be able to protect the run. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you're going out there, you got 70 laps. Who knows if there's going to be a caution? You're always going to have the guys that are betting on a caution and hoping for a caution. But maybe there's a guy out there like Clinton Sneed that says, hey, look, I'm going to hope that we're going to go 40, 50 laps under green. I'm going to manage my tires. I'm going to manage my car as good as I can, which means they're not so aggressive up front. They're trying to get the long run speed out of the car. So it's going to be interesting to see this whole thing play out as you see that practice now has concluded, which means qualifying is starting. So let's put up the qualifying grid tower here and see how these guys look. We got Bradley Wilson, one of the first cars out on the track here. See if we can't get a view. And Craig, take us around on qualifying and how do you qualify here at Atlanta?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to come out here, throw away a lap, get the tires a little bit warmed up to execute a really fast second lap as we see Wilson utilizing the top line, get the most speed coming out of 4.
Man, he is loose too. You saw the rear of that car just kicking. Now this is his warm-up lap here. You know, he comes out of the pits. You got about a half a lap to get up to speed, but you'll notice that he is running that high line through most of this first lap, and you'll see that he made a little contact with the wall. And the problem in iRacing is you make any contact or go off track at all, it will discount your qualifying lap. So he's going to reset and go out there and try to put down a burner. As we see Ben Kanoyski here going out there, and every single one of these cars, Craig, seem like they are really loose on corner exit.
Wicked loose. They're going to have to fight that all night long. Just throttle control with these cars. They're really fun to drive, but like you said earlier, there's a fine line out there. You got to find it, and you got to just be patient about it.
That is absolutely right. We'll sit here and kind of flip through and see some of these guys taking multiple different lines, and you see a tiny little bit of wall contact there from Rodney Griffin, which means that will probably not count this lap. These guys are just going to have to really, truly challenge themselves to take the car to the edge, but not over it. You're going to hear us talk about that a lot tonight here from Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Thursday Night Throwdown ARCA Series. Again, they have one fast repair, 70 laps. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out because I am absolutely excited about what these guys are going to be able to do when they go out there in a big pack. We take a look here at last week's winner, Brandon Pearl, just finishing up his qualifying run. And Colton Kinkard here. Look at a lot of these guys here just finishing up their runs. We've got Garrett Delph right here looking like he's coming to the line. If he'll push him up, that takes him to the top of the leaderboard, Craig.
Yeah, very good lap out of that number 13. Just beating out Seaborn. What a lap for the 13 here at Atlanta.
That's right. Well, that's going to pretty much take us through the end of qualifying. We've got a few more guys probably going to finalize their qualifying lap. But right now, we're going to be taking it and paying homage to our great country, the United States of America, with our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting is still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Hot Atlanta Motor Speedway from the Thursday night Throwdown Arca series right here on Evolution Racing Network. I want to welcome everybody tonight as we have just finished up the qualifying order and we are ready to get this thing kicked off. Let's take a look at the grid. And I'm going to turn it over to my partner here, Craig A. Burns, and let him take us through the first half of the field.
Capturing the Trailblazer pole award is Garrett Delph. Starting in second, Brian Seaborn. Rolling off third, Taylor Peacock. Starting fourth, Sam Jones. Fifth, Clinton Sneed. Starting sixth, number 34, Jonathan Locke. Starting seventh, Rodney Griffith. Rolling off eighth in the number 05, Joshua Abbey. Starting ninth in the number 77, Clayton Kinkart. And starting 10th in the number 79, Donnie Lyons.
And the back half of the field is starting 11th, Brian Skidmore in the 75 car. 12th, last week's winner, Brandon Pearl in the 00 car. 13th, Colton Kinkart in the 63. 14th, Corey Locke in the 1 car. 15th position will be Cody Dorsey in the 84. 16th, Kelly Everetts in the 10. 17th, Ben Ganoyski in the 30. In the 88 car in 18th position, Tori Thompson. 19th, Bradley Wilson in the 51. 20th, Curtis Rogers in the 65. And coming up in the back of the field, Eric McMillan in the 15, starting 21st. Well, as we said, folks, it is going to get down and dirty and super hot here in Hot Atlanta as you see the iRacing pace car get underway. Woo, I am excited. I'm telling you, Evolution Racing Network doesn't get excited about many tracks, but Atlanta is one of them, and it's just because it is unpredictable. So many of these guys have put time and lap into practice and preparing for tonight, but there is nothing like being on a track with 20 plus other drivers and trying to run side by side with a hot slick track. Is there, Craig?
Super hot track tonight, Ryan. 124 degrees on the concrete banks here at Atlanta. Man, it's going to get slick. These cars are going to be loose all night long. A handful to drive. We're about to see some action-packed racing. Can't wait.
Ooh, you and me both, brother. This is going to be a track that I think truly, Thursday Night Throwdown does a great job of mixing up a multitude of types of tracks, from road course to intermediates to short tracks to the 1 miles. I mean, everything is on their schedule. So the mile and a half, though, you gotta be good. As you see the iRacing pace car dip down to pit road, and we are about to be underway as we go green. Woo, this is gonna be fun. Let's take up front and go to the leaders here and watch this battle between the 76 and the 13 of Garrett Delph and Bryant Seaborn. They are side by side, coming out of 2 and coming down the back stretch. It looks like so far everybody got away okay. The 13, though, he is not wanting to let that up. Garrett Delph got the pole. As you see a little contact further back in the field with the wall. These guys do have 1 fast repair for 70 laps tonight and 2 extra sets of tires in the pits. But the strategy, that's what's going to win the race tonight. Who can manage their tires the best and who can play the best strategy. You know, Craig, when we talked about earlier, there's going to be those guys that are going to be so concerned with track position. So on every restart, they're going to get out there and try to get every spot they can right from the word go. There's also going to be guys that are like, look, I'm going to try to save my car for the long run and hope there's not many cautions. So why don't I just kind of kick back a little bit, let everybody else use their stuff up? Which way do you think's the winning strategy?
Winning strategy tonight is definitely going to be saving those tires for the long run. Anticipate it. It's really hard, though, to sit in the cockpit of a car and say, I'm going to save, I'm going to let someone go. I think it's going to be the winning strategy unless you can get out front, get to a 4 or 5 second lead, and then save your tires from there. As we see Seaborn back out front, we've seen him almost lead every single lap last week at Martinsville. I expect him to come out here, have a fart underneath his butt, says, hey, I got to go out there and get a win.
That's right. And as you see both of these guys up front, Brian Seaborn and Garrett Delph, they are both running completely different lines, and that's something that is unique to Atlanta. A lot of these mile and a half, there's one preferred racing line. You can run in multiple areas on the track, but if you're out there by yourself, you're going to run in the preferred line. The 13 of Garrett Delph is choosing to take that middle to low line through the corners, and Brian Seaborn is taking that Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick outside up against the wall all the way around. Even though it's the longest way around the track, there's so much speed to be made on corner exit because you're able to carry it through the corners. That could be a way that these guys also save a little bit of tire, Craig.
Yeah, up top, you're going to be saving a lot more tire here at Atlanta. I think right now what they're doing is they're searching. They're looking at their times. They're talking to their crew. What is the preferred line as he's riding that top line right against the wall? He's doing a great job up there. As now we look at the number 79 of Lyons, Donnie Lyons. He's doing all right, sitting there in 11th. I think he's back there just saving his tires.
Yeah, and we watched Bradley Wilson try to lay down a burner of a lap when we were in qualifying, and he made a tiniest little bit of contact with the wall, and it really threw his qualifying lap out because you cannot make any contact or go off track at all, or iRacing will discount and not count that qualifying lap for you. So he had to start deep in the field, close to the back. And he has already made himself up 10 positions in the 9th position in that 51 car. Let's see if we can't take a look and see how he is doing it. And he is just like that 76 car, running that high line, but he is bobbing and weaving all the way through the field. He's one of those guys that says, look, I need to make up all the track position I can now, and then hope that a caution comes out and go get a fresh set of Goodyear tires on there, and then come back out and kind of settle in. But he is marching his way forward, Craig.
Yeah, Wilson really fast in practice. It's a bummer to go out there and hit the wall a couple times in qualifying, but he's really on the move right now. Using that high line, he's still out there saving tires. He might be burning up a little, getting down low in the tri-oval, but I don't think it's gonna be too harsh on those, and it's the right front you want to watch out for all night. So we'll see what happens as right now he's working down low. Yeah, he's making a move to the front.
Yes, he is, and we have great camera angles from our camera crew out there at Evolution Racing Network, giving us every view possible. And one of the things, if you want to take a look, this is Bradley Wilson's view as he's made his way up to 7th position. 12 spots up from the start, made his way all the way up there, and man, he is just flying through the field. Only question I have is how long can this last? That would be my only fear if I'm part of his crew or part of him. This thing goes green the whole distance. He could be in trouble on the back half of this, Craig.
Absolutely. He will see tire wear around lap 10 to lap 15. He's going to have to start backing up his corners, but right now he's doing a really good job. He's tracking down Joshua Abbey right now as he's using that high line. I'm telling you, Ryan, that high line, it's going to be fast tonight.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, you see guys driving all over the track, that low to middle to high line, and getting different results. And that's what's great about Atlanta is you can literally drive 3 different lines and get similar lap times. Now, the question is, does that sustain for a long period of time? Well, Bradley Wilson has showed us that you can take the low line, the high line, the middle line. I can bob and weave through traffic like it's rush hour on the 405. But it ain't stopping him yet. We got a big mess on the backstretch. That looked like our leader. Yeah, Bryant Seaborn. Let's go take a look, Craig, and see if we can find out exactly what took place. But that was the 76 of Bryant Seaborn involved in this first incident. Oh,
Yeah, it looked like he had a really big lead too. Just overdrove it. He's up there, almost a second lead. Oh, he comes back up, collecting a couple machines there.
yeah, that looked like Clinton Sneed in a 49. Wrong place, wrong time for him. Man, that is a tough break because, and we saw this a lot in practice. We mentioned it and we talked about it. Here's the reality of it. You have a choice. When you start wrecking, you have human instinct to do one of two things. I can either try to get out of the way and lock it down, or I can try to save it and drive through it. Well, instinctively, we don't want to just give up, lock her down, and you know, get out of the way. So we want to be competitive, especially when you're in the lead by that much. You want to try to throttle through it and gas through it. As we watch the 05 and the 50 going cutting down pit road, it looks like they'll be taking advantage of this for some 4 fresh Goodyears and some Sunoco fuel. But these guys he just tried to drive out of it, and he almost had it done. But these Arca cars are just crazy loose. So it's unfortunate for him, but the good thing is these guys do have one fast repair, so he may have to use it on that one, both him and Clinton Sneed. Get that car rebuilt, get it back out on track, and see if we can't get this thing underway. But as we are finishing up the pit stops here, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you, folks. Welcome back, everybody. We had to go pay the bills and make sure that everybody knew everything about Shenandoah Shine. We are under our first caution here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Thursday night Throwdown Arca Series, where our leader, Craig, what did you just say to me? We talked about this in pre-race. What happened there with that incident? What did he do? What did he get right close to and then just barely cross it?
That fine line that you try so hard to find during practice. You find that fine line, you say, hey, I can't go over it. He just tiptoed right over it. But you know what? Going to the bank early, gonna cash in that fast repair. Hopefully we'll see him back up in the front here, and maybe the next 30 laps, 15 laps. We'll see.
You know, with a 21 field, it looks like if I'm looking at things correctly, should be restarting somewhere around the 17th position, which if he is as fast as he was in that first run, and we'll go take a look at his car real quick and see if those boys on the wall did their job in the pits and got that car cleaned up, and it certainly looks like they did. So it looks like Bryant Seaborn has used his one and only fast repair. Well, maybe not. It's kind of hard to tell. He may have not have had enough damage. He had a little, side contact with Clinton Sneed and then locked him down. Made a little bit of contact with that interior wall. But that car looks actually pretty clean, so looks like he's probably used his fast repair. But if he does anything like Bradley Wilson did, he'll be back up front in absolute no time. As you see him stacked and racked side by side, that means one thing, that the pace car has turned out those lights and we are about to go green. You'll see the iRacing pace car dip down to pit road. And that means our front row will be the 13 of Garrett Delph and 77 of Clayton Kinkart. Garrett Delph started this race on the pole, fell back a little bit to second place, and look at him now. He's starting right back up front. He was smart, kept it within the means, and we are racked up. He's stacking the field, and he's got a great launch. He will get out there in front, the 77 of Clayton Kinkart. Oh, and we got some major contact in the back. What is going on?
Big tire spin there on the restart. That's something that we did not talk about at the top of the broadcast. Tire spin on restarts here at the concrete, mile and a half. That's a bummer there.
Yes, it is. As you take a look, there was several cars involved. Let's see if we can go to the DRN booth and find out exactly what took place on that restart. You know what they say, cautions breed cautions. So let's go back and take a look at Rodney Griffin's video. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that was a lot of contact there. Oh, several times. And it looks like that is the 97 of Rodney Griffin that got loose. I'm going to go back just a little bit further if I can. And I want to see if I can find... And there was so many contacts going on there, Craig, and cars trying to regain it, and they just couldn't, and they kept slapping off the wall. And Atlanta's one of those self-washing tracks, and what we mean by that is if there is contact or problems on the track in that middle to high groove in the corners, what their cars are naturally going to do is when they are coming to a rest, they're going to be sliding down the track. So you want to be, if you're behind them, you'll want to be clear of that. So, man, that is a tough break for several drivers as we see several people going to the pits. And we'll take a quick look. We've got Clayton Kinkart here, the 77 on pit road. Several of these guys coming in for service. And, man, this is going to shake up the field just a little bit, don't you think?
Ryan, who this benefits is Bradley Wilson. The number 51 is sitting in fifth. He had the patience to, roll through and not get collected. The little lucky break, a racing came to him there.
That's right. As you see that, don't get me lying, who was that? Was that Brian Skidmore taking the lucky dog? I apologize, I couldn't catch that number as he was flying by. So these guys have another opportunity to kind of reset. Now, I'll tell you, what this creates in stock car racing is heat cycles on the tires. That in itself can be very challenging for somebody to drive through that. These tires, really, they know on the first lap to 3 laps that it takes a while for the air pressure to be built up, the heat to get built up into the tires to where they get more of a consistent feel on the car. Problem with that is when you have a caution back to back, it very well could lead to a car that is super loose on a restart. Tire spin, as you mentioned earlier, Craig, that is going to be a factor on this restart because now you've got another heat cycle on these tires. So most drivers on a 1.5 mile track are going to start in second gear and they're going to quickly go in the throttle. But man, when you see that car in front of you take off instinctively, you just want to smash the gas and go. Well, that's what happened about 3 rows back on that restart. Somebody had a different idea and just hit a little too much throttle and sent them spinning, and you see what happens. It's just nowhere to go for several of those guys. But it is early. That was our first big caution that took out many drivers. So we still have that fast repair. We have a lot of guys that still have a lot of time to make it up here.
Yeah, the tire spin is just going to be crucial all night. Even on fresh tires, you can't mash the gas. You got to roll into it. I'll tell you what, you spin your tires on a restart and take out a couple guys in the top of the field, you won't do it again. I've done it. I've known people that have done it. We just get antsy. Let's go, 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 go. Sometimes you just got to take a step back, relax, roll in, and see yourself going into turn one.
That's right. As we saw, Garrett Delph, I believe, went in and took a service on that. So that inherently gives the lead to Taylor Peacock. So the 81, Taylor, and the 79 of Donnie Lyons, and the 51, surprise, surprise, of Bradley Wilson make up your top three on this restart. Now, I was reading earlier, I need to get some confirmation of this, but I was reading after last week at Martinsville that they have initiated a policy in the ARCA series that if there is a caution that comes out after the restart from a previous caution, so within the first lap of a caution coming out, that it will go single file. So I think that's just to try to keep the racing clean, as we see the 81 take a great launch, single file, which means they got to stay in line till they cross that start finish line. 81 got a heck of a launch, Craig.
Got Donnie Lyons napping 81 into turn one. Peacock out to a sizable lead, but here comes Wilson in turn number two.
That's right. Bradley Wilson took advantage of it as well and went all the way up 17 positions in 22 laps. Now knocking on the door of the leader in second position and still running that high line, carrying all that massive speed. As you'll see, he'll close in on the 81 of Taylor Peacock really easy by using that high line. There's just so much speed to be found up there. Taylor tries to shut the door and block him, but Bradley Wilson's just so strong. His crew has put together a car that has allowed him to drive anywhere he wants on that track, and he is just now taking the lead.
Drag race to Wilson into turn number three. Still using the high line. I think Peacock is understanding, I got to get up there. I gotta catch Wilson right now. He's using that high line as they're coming across the line, coming into turn number one.
That's right. As we see, our camera guys are telling us to take a look at Bryant Seaborn. Started 17th under that last caution. He was the leader for the first 17 or so laps and just got a little loose into the wall. As you see him do it there again. But great recovery on that run. Made it all the way up to 12th position. Looks like he's going to lose a little bit of ground there. I think your nerves get the best of you, and you just want to try to get back up to where you were. And I think it's just time to settle in and know that there's still plenty of race left. Don't overdrive your car. These guys are all over the place. There is our pole sitter, and previously Garrett Delph making his way up, it looks like, to 7th position after that last restart. We've got guys all over the track running multiple different lines on multiple different tire and fuel strategies. Man, there's no telling how this thing plays out, Craig.
Bell for second right now is the 00 of Pearl going down low on Peacock. Here they're coming out too. Man, I'll tell you what, Wilson has checked out to a 2.5 lead. These guys are chasing right now.
Man, I'm telling you, to make up 18 spots from the start of this race in 26 laps, it's like he's got nitrous under the hood of that thing. But you're right, Brandon Pearl, last week's ARCA winner at Martinsville, says, hey guys, don't forget about me. I'm still here and I'm coming for you, Wilson. And it very well could be the 51 versus the 00 as we come towards the end of this. But we still have a lot of race left, folks. We are less than halfway through. 27 laps coming to conclude 28. And I'm excited to see what these guys do on these long green flag runs and who really plays that fuel and tire strategy out to their benefit.
Yeah, talking about tires right now, this is the point where Wilson's got to think, okay, I got a 1.5 lead. Do I start saving or do I keep the pedal to the metal? Right now, his gap is still growing. He's out there wheeling it. Joshua Abbey's sitting there in third. He's doing all right. They're single filed. It's gonna be a chess match with the tires. I'm telling you.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, these guys all had a strategy when they came into this race tonight, but nobody knows how the cautions are going to play out. When are the pit cycles going to play? So all you can do is put a loose strategy together and hope that it's close to what you had in mind. As you see the top three here, like you said, Bradley Wilson, man, is just checked out. Got a 2.3 second gap over Brandon Pearl, last week's winner, and then another little over a 0.5 second gap back to Joshua Abbey. So these guys, if this thing goes green, this could get interesting as far as how stretched out and how far out the field gets. We'll actually take a look at that real quick right now as we are going to go on board here with Bradley Wilson, taking a look at him and show you guys exactly what the track layout looks like. See if we can get that pulled up here. As you see that graphic on the right side of your screen there, that shows you where everybody is on the track, and we're only 6 or 7 laps from the last restart, and they're already spread out over half a lap, Greg.
Yeah, just tire management's going to be huge. Right now we have the 45 of Sam Jones on pit road. He looks like he might call it a night. No, he's maybe getting some damage fixed. I don't know what's going on with the 45. Unscheduled pit stop, I assume. As we go back to the leader, Wilson, he's still checked out. Brand Pearl sitting there. Josh Abbey, Delph in fourth. Clinton Sneed having a good run right now. He's sitting in fifth, about 5 seconds back. Peacock fell back to about sixth. King Cart sitting in seventh. Dorsey sitting in eighth. Ninth is Thompson. Round out your top 10. Dying Lines in the number 79.
That's right, and Clinton Sneed, we'll go back to him for just a second, because if you remember the 76 of Garrett Delph, when he got loose. Oh, what do we got?
Big wreck in turn 3. They all straightened it out. I think the 45 was planning on coming down pit road. A bunch of machines involved. They straightened it out, so no caution. That's going to hurt a lot of these drivers here tonight.
Oh, you aren't lying. We were sitting there watching the 76 there at Garrett Delph, just taking his time coming up through the field. Or I'm sorry, the 13, we were watching the 76 of Seaborn that was involved in that previous caution. And then we were talking about Clinton Sneed. That was a poor victim when the 76 got loose and made some side contact with him. And Clinton Sneed has made his way back up to fourth position. And look who we have as a new leader. Joshua Abbey there. I'm sorry. Bradley Wilson still in the lead. A little technical glitch there. Almost a 4-second lead, Craig. This is insane.
Yeah, he's really checked out. Our Joshua Abbey sitting in second. He got really loose coming out of fours. Now he's getting passed by Brandon Pearl on the bottom side again. He might get freight train coming out too.
Yeah, you got a 3-car drag race coming down the backstretch. And it's like, hey, boys, it's time to go. We have just now hit the halfway point in this ARCA series of Thursday Night Throwdown. Brandon Pearl takes the high side coming out of 4. The 13 of Garrett Delph and the 05 right there of Joshua Abbey, all battling out. And don't forget, Clinton Sneed says, hey, boys, I'm in the mix too. You got a 4-car pack right there, all battling for second position. And all that is doing is allowing Bradley Wilson, our leader, to get further and further away as these guys are battling it out and running side by side, taking each other's lines away and blocking. You're just allowing the 51 of Bradley Wilson just to go further and further out. But as you'll see, that 4-car pack has gotten single file. Garrett Delph, 13 car, is back up in that familiar territory, running up front and trying to chase down Bradley Wilson for that lead. We'll take you through the field here, starting with our leader, Bradley Wilson. The 51 car is got up here. 18 positions, our largest mover of the night. Started in the back of the pack and just said, see ya, boys. Came up through very quickly. Has had a majority of the night running that top line, but now that he's gotten out front with a large gap, he has started to move down that track a little bit and run that lower to mid line. I think a lot of that has to do with tires starting to go away for him there. Right behind him, we've got Garrett Delph in the second position. You know, Garrett started on that front row at the original part of this race, has cycled through with pit stops now, and is back up front in second position and starting to close in. He's made up 3/4 of a second on Bradley Wilson. Joshua Abbey is in a battle right now with Clinton Sneed for that third position. As Clinton Sneed at 49, you see him take that spot. But Joshua Abbey having a great night. Clinton Sneed right there in front of him. Hasn't quite got him cleared yet, but he is trying to secure that spot from Bristol, Tennessee. Sneed Competition Design Director. He knows how to get this done. Car looks good, looks very stable. I see to him being up front and making a challenge for the leaders in no time. Right behind him, which has also gotten around the 05 of Joshua Abbey, is Brandon Pearl, last week's winner. Up front again, giving him a challenge. Back in sixth position, you've got Clayton Kinkart. He has been nice and quiet. Haven't heard a whole lot about him, but he has been up in the top 5, top 10 all night long, just making nice, consistent laps. The 84 of Cody Dorsey in the 7th position right now, and the 84 in that good-looking black flat paint job. The bright green numbers, Mountain Dew car. He is working his way up front as well. 8th position, Jonathan Locke in the 34. Same old, just going through, Mr. Consistent, just clicking off the laps, biding his time. The 30 car, Ben Kaminsky, doing the same thing. These guys are all getting drawn out, kind of single file, giving each other some room. They know, hey, we still got 28 laps to go. We have plenty of time. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 97. Rodney Griffin running side by side right there, trying to secure that position, which he really is in the bottom of the track. And that is your top 2. Go back up front, Craig, and tell us what's going on. He's hitting some lap traffic.
Yeah, lap traffic's going to be coming into play here, as it looked like he moved right out of the way for him. That's showing respect on the track. That's what you like to see out of a driver. As Wilson dips down into turn number 1. Clinton Sneed, I think Clinton Sneed has a plan. I think he's back there saving his tires a little. He's showing some consistent fast laps. He's really pulling away from Brandon Pearl and Clayton Kinkart right now. And Joshua Abbey really falling back here on this long run. Maybe he showed his tires a little bit too much wear at the start of this run.
Yeah, I think he may have shown his cards a little early, but I think he learned a lot from that run as well, of what not to do and what to do if we do happen to get a late caution. He'll know what the threshold of that car can do and about when it will start falling off. And we have talked about it all night. You'll hear us talk about it all for the rest of this race and in tonight's truck race for the Thursday night throwdown. Tire management has always been the biggest factor at Atlanta Motor Speedway. These guys can go out there, and it's easy to go out and put down 2 or 3, fast laps and be able to put it all anywhere on the track you want. But then after that, the more you push your car and the more pressure that you put on your tires, the quicker they fall off. So you can go from hero to zero in no time if you push it too far and somebody else is on your opposite strategy. As you see, you've got battles all over the track right now. Some are for position, some are dealing with lap traffic, so you're just trying to safely get around them. but it's been pretty quiet as we come with 25 laps to go. And we will be right back. We're going to take another commercial break and let everybody know about one of the presenting sponsors, Sneak Competition Design, excuse me. And we'll take a quick look at this and we'll be right back with you.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have two options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Sneed Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
All right, and as we see, folks, we've got several of the leaders and guys up front starting to make their green flag pit stops. You see Rodney Griffin and Brian Skidmore on pit road right now doing their service. But guess what? No change up front. I'll tell you what, though, Craig, Garrett Delph has made his way up to second position and has taken a 5.07 second gap that Bradley Wilson had over the lead, and he's knocked it down to 2.8 seconds. So he is close to cutting that gap in half. Does that mean that Bradley Wilson's tires have finally gave way and Garrett Delph used the right strategy? Because we have been on quite a long green flag run.
Yeah, I think Wilson used them up a little as we saw him get a little loose coming out of turn 2 there. He's really rolling it through the corners right now, trying to just save what he has left. It's now down to like a 2.7 second lead. He might be coming in here soon to get some Mr. Feelgoods, so we'll keep an eye out on that, as I think Garrett Delph is really just chipping away. Chip, just chipper away.
Yep. And there's about a 2 to 2.5 second gap between first and second to third. So these guys are all a pretty good distance from each other, nice and safe. But if you notice, Bradley Wilson at the whole first, I'd say 22 laps of a run after a start with fresh tires, loved riding that wall. It looked like Tyler Reddick at Homestead, just running the wall and getting so much carry-through speed through all the corners. You see him now when a car starts driving to the bottom of the track, they're doing that because they have no grip, and you can't run the wall because the track will naturally push you up into the wall and you'll be doing damage to your car. So you either have to let off a lot, back your corners up, or dive to the bottom and allow the angles of the track to keep you down there. So I think that's what Bradley Wilson is trying to do right now. As you see, he's in a bit of a battle, but that is the 79 car, which is a lap down right now. So that is not poor position. It's going, I'm telling you, Garrett Delph now has cut it under 2 seconds. It's a 1.9 second gap back to Garrett Delph in second position. If this thing goes green, we only have 18 laps to go, Craig. It could be interesting. I don't know how much fuel they have left, who has to pit, who doesn't. When they do it, they take tires. Man, I'm excited to see how this thing plays out tonight.
Yeah, super excited. The last lap for Bradley Wilson was a 34.28, and Garrett Delph, he's coming, man. 33.94. That's almost half a second quicker. He should be there in about a couple laps, don't you think, Ryan?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you sit here and you look, we've got a battle box up in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, and that shows you everybody in relation to first place, Bradley Wilson. And as you see, Bradley Wilson from the start of this race up 18 positions. Garrett Delph that started on the pole is sitting in second position right now. These cars are starting to get out of control. And you can't run the same throttle control, the same throttle traces, and the same lines you did at the beginning of a run with fresh tires, or that car will be smashed up in no time. So these cars are starting to get very loose, very out of control, and it's such a fine line with your mental status and your racecraft to be able to harness it and go, okay, look, I don't have the tires I did. I've really got to control it. I've got to take it easy so I don't, the bigger picture is not to get wrecked out. You know, it's always better to finish third than to finish in last because you got to wreck the car.
Wilson coming up on lap traffic. Had
Wow!
to split him 3 wide. What a move there for Wilson. Just catching the lap cars at a wrong time there, but I think you're hitting it on the head, Ryan. The tires, you know, I used to have a coach. He used to say pregame, you can't go out there and bust your load. And you know what? I think Bradley Wilson right now, he might. I could be wrong. I'm no mind reader, but he could say, hey, I got a 5-second lead. I'm gonna save a little. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna let him think he's catching me. Let him burn his tires up while I'm saving. I went on board with Bradley Wilson for a little bit. He's really rolling that car through the corner. So, you know, it could be one or two things. I'm gonna save a lot right now for 15 to go, or I burn them all up.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, we're at the point now, 14 to go. Your bed's made. You know, there's not a lot of options you can do. The question is, do these guys have enough fuel? Let's see if we can't pull up the last time, if I can find this here. The last time these guys were on pit road. Let's see. Yeah, so you take a look at the top 5 there. 43 laps on the current run for Wilson. Delph, 39 laps. Sneed, 45. Kinkart, 39. So first, third, and fifth are on the exact same set of tires as far as how many laps there are. And second and fourth have about 5-6 extra laps on their tires. So that's probably why Garrett Delph in the 13 has made up so much time. He has not only not pushed his car too hard, he has a little bit more tire on the car because he's 6 less laps. As you see him get right up there on the 51, there is no big gap anymore. He has made it within 0.3 of a second up to, and we're going to keep the camera right here on these leaders because this could be for the win right here between Bradley Wilson and Garrett Delph in the 13. You know, Bradley Wilson, such an outstanding performance. As you see Garrett Delph take the lead, but, you know, Bradley Wilson, I got to give him credit. Starting in the back and fighting his way to the front, I think nobody anticipated with those 2 cautions back-to-back, Craig, that we would have such a long green flag run. As they come to the line next time, it'll be 10 to go.
Yeah, nothing more frustrating than having a really fast car and just getting caught on a pit cycle that it's not in your favor. That's what we're seeing in Brian Wilson. Josh Abbey's calling out that he's coming down pit road. There's the 05 car going down. Oh, he's getting a little loose coming in pit entrance.
Wow.
Looked like he wowed it down. That might be a black flag for that number 05.
That could. A little too much speed. As you see the leaders now coming by through the quad oval as Joshua Abbey is on pit road. We have Garrett Delph checking out a little bit on his own, 3/4 of a second ahead, but look right behind him. And Clinton Sneed got around the 51 of Bradley Wilson, and he knows that it's time to go. It is the 9th inning. The bases are loaded, and if there's any time to get up there and give it everything the car has, it's now, as Clinton Sneed is closing in on your leader, Garrett Delph, the pole sitter for this race. With Bradley Wilson back in third. I think Bradley should be able to hang on to a podium finish if this thing goes green for the distance because he's got a 4-second lead over Clayton Kinkart in the 77 car, and there's several lap cars in between those two, so it should give the 51 of Bradley Wilson a little bit of protection to get through the next 9 laps. But it's all about Clinton Sneed in the 49 and Garrett Delph in the 13 up front battling for the win as they cross the line with 8 to go. And these guys are putting it all on the line. I'll tell you what, Craig, let's go Clinton Snead's car and let's go take a look from the passenger seat and see what he sees. And take us around this track with old tires, a long run like this. Take us around the track and what it actually feels like to drive a car this loose with old tires.
Yeah, Clinton Snead preferring to use the higher line than Garrett Dolph. I think he's saving tires. He was quicker on the last lap by 0.4 of a second. He's coming. He's gonna back his corner up, dive it down, keep it up a little higher, I guess. Run that middle line right there with Garrett Dolph. He's looking to get a good run out of 2 down the back straight as Dolph got a little loose coming down the back straight. I think Clinton Snead is sitting in the catbird seat.
I do too. And you know the great thing, it's always easier to be the guy chasing than the one being chased, because you can identify when somebody's going to make a mistake. Or if you see that the line they're running is starting to lose a little traction, a little speed, as you see, he made it all the way up to the bumper. Garrett Delph in the 13 there. He can see where the leader's going to go and choose to go opposite to his benefit as he gets a run down the backstretch, and it's side by side. We got a drag race right here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Woo! And the 13 makes a little contact. He comes down to check in behind the 49 of Clinton Snead and makes a tiny little bit of contact. And both keep it straight, keep it together. And now we have a new leader with 5 to go, Clinton Snead. And we have got to be getting close on fuel as we take a look at the pit strategy board. 53 laps for Clinton Snead on this current set, on this current run. So after 53 laps on tires and on fuel, man, it's going to be close. And if he does run out, guess who's going to be in the seat? That's the 13. It looks like, man, I don't know if it was lap traffic or a bad line, Craig, but he lost a lot of speed, and the 13 almost got to him and got around him.
Yeah, Corey Locke there on fresher tires got in between them just a little, said, hey guys, I got fresh rubber. I have to go. See ya. I hope you guys pit later, but he's just trying to get out of the way. And Clinton Snead right now, I'm not going to say he's going to start walking away, but it kind of seems like that, Ryan, right now. He's on 3/10, but now he's not chasing. He's in the lead. He's checking that relative.
Yep.
Every turn. He's up, down, up, down. He's, the emotions are so high right now in the lead. I think he's good on gas. I don't want to say for sure. But right now, Clint Snead did a great job saving tires, using the high line. He's out there wheeling that 49, hoping to get a victory here with 3 to go.
That's right. He comes down. We come down to the backstretch. Next time by, it'll be 2 laps to go. Clinton Snead is like, look, I've got to drive out of beyond my hood pins, not my rearview mirror, because that's where mistakes are made. He's looking at it going, look, I got 8 turns to go. Just make 8 good entries and exits on these turns, and I will be the winner. Garrett Delph is doing a great job of hanging in there, but he's falling back to 0.7 of a second. He's trying different lines all over the track, trying to find that last little bit of go-go juice that he's going to need to get up to the 49 and get around him. Right behind him, Clayton Kinkart having a great run tonight. He did get around Bradley Wilson. It looks like if this thing carries out the way that we think, he will be getting a podium finish tonight. And then Bradley Wilson, unfortunate, had such a great run all night long, just used up a little too much, a little with not enough time left. So as we go, white flag for Clinton Snead and Garrett Delph. I don't think Clinton Snead's got any competition. So as we come across the line, you will be seeing your winner right now as he comes out of 4 into the quad oval, sets that baby straight. That flag is coming over, checker flag for Clinton Snead in the 49. Garrett Delph in the 13, finishing up second with a great finish. Clayton Kinkart finishing up third in the 77. Bradley Wilson in the 51 car getting a great 4th place finish. And rounding out the top 5, Ben Ganoyski in the 30 car, Mr. Consistency. Man, Craig, what a finish.
Guess what, Ryan? It came down to the thing we talked about on the top of the show. and it's tires.
Yeah.
Clinton Sneed went out there, saved the best tires. Big win for the 49 here at Hot Atlanta. So we're about to watch him burn it down.
That's right, baby. And he deserved it. He really put on a show tonight by doing what it took, managing the tires, managing his fuel, and not overdriving it too early. He had just enough left to get out there when everybody else had used it all up and get around them with inside 10 to go. And now he's going home the victor tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway here at the Thursday Night Throwdown. And we will be right back with you, folks. We're going to go to a commercial break, and then we'll be right back with your top 3 interviews from Thursday Night Throwdown Arca Series.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Evolution Racing Network, broadcasting the Thursday Night Throwdown live from Atlanta Motor Speedway, as we just witnessed a great strategy play by the 49 of Clinton Sneed to come up, start mid-pack, fight through the field where it looked like Bradley Wilson in the 51 was going to run away with the win. He said he had different ideas. He said, go ahead, get out there, bring your stuff up. I got a present for you if this thing goes green. And boy, sure it did. And Clinton Sneed just started picking them off one at a time, and nobody had anything left for him. So with that being said, Craig, I'm going to turn it over to you, and let's see if we can't get our top 3, starting with Clayton Kinkart in the 77. See if we can't get a word with him real quick and find out what he thought about tonight's race. Let's see if I can get him on.
Clayton Kinkart, this is Craig Burns up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Clayton, heck of a run out here at Hot Atlanta tonight. Walk me through the race out there. How'd the car feel longer in the run? Was it loose? Did it get a little tight?
The Shenandoah Shine Martin Sports Impala, she got real tight at the end. I think I had maybe 10 or 15% left on my front right tire, so it was definitely about the long run here.
Absolutely, especially with the hot temps here we see at Atlanta. Coming down, you're in 4th, chasing Bradley Wilson. Did you know you had him, or?
Well, my spotter was telling me I was coming up quick. The lap times were getting faster and faster, and being a friend and teammate of Brad, I was hoping nothing was wrong, and then he called for a meatball flag, so I think he blew a tire there in the end.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but great finish for you, Clayton, coming home in 3rd on the podium. Anyone you'd like to thank? Shout out.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to Shenandoah Shine, Martin Sports, ARE, Empire Jerky. All those guys brought me out here tonight, so I gotta give a shout out to them.
All right, Clayton, we appreciate you. Heck of a show tonight. Coming home in 3rd, Clayton Kinkart.
Thank you.
And that was your 3rd place finisher, Clayton Kinkart in the 77 Shenandoah Shine car. You just heard it. You know, there's a lot of teamwork going on out there tonight. So it was good to see a multitude of different strategies playing out right before our eyes. You know, it looked like there for a while it was going to be short runs in between cautions, but then they all surprised us and ran several laps, I think almost 40 laps under green to finish this bad boy out. So what a great finish to the race tonight in Hot Atlanta. Let's see if we can't get Garrett Delphin, that number 13 machine, on the horn. Garrett. Hey, this is Ryan and Craig up in the ERM booth. You got a copy?
Hey, fellas, how's it going up there?
Man, it is going great. What a run you had tonight. Couldn't say I'm like a daddy watching his kid go out and win his first football game. It looked like, from the start, you got the pole, you had the speed. The 76 of Seaborn got around you, had a little trouble. Off pit cycle, got you moved back a little bit, but so consistent tonight, Garrett. Did a great job. What was it that Clinton had that you and Clayton and Bradley Wilson didn't there at the end to come home in second?
Man, I tell y'all what, Clinton has had something just special for us at these mile and a halves this season. It's been a lot of fun running against Clinton and Bradley, Seaborn and Clayton every week. But, for some reason, these green flag runs happened at Charlotte to us as well. We're out in front of Clinton for 30, 35 laps, and those last few laps, he just seems to catch me every time. So, no, he ran a great race. That was a great run by Clinton, just running down that Shenandoah Shine car today.
Yeah, it was. And, we were talking about this through the broadcast tonight, Garrett, that you go into every race, especially a race like this, where tire wear is extremely important. It may or may not come down to fuel. You don't know. You kind of go in with the strategy in mind thinking, okay, how is this thing going to play out and how is it going to best suit me? You never know that if it's going to be 15, 20 laps in between cautions or if the whole thing is going to go green. So you kind of, try to shoot for the best. Clinton just had the winning combination tonight, it looks like. But I'm telling you, you were so strong throughout the entirety of the race, and your lap times were probably closer from the beginning to the end of a run on an average than most drivers out there. It was very consistent. It's like the Mark Martin of the league. So consistent, going in, keeping your nose out of trouble. You did a phenomenal job. Now, next week, what is it that you look forward to, and what is it going to take to get you into victory circle so we can go out and celebrate together for that win?
I'll tell you what, we've been itching for a win all season. We lead the ARCA series in top fives. Only top five we couldn't get was last week in Martinsville. We were just looking in, and I'm itching for it. I'm itching for it badly, especially going to a track like Talladega where anything can happen. Luck was on our side at Daytona. We ran the right strategy. We were where we needed to be. We were able to bring home a top 3 at Daytona, and I'm hoping to kind of replicate some of that at Dega. We're going to have a good car. We're great at the plate tracks. We're going to have a good run, and we're just going to need a little bit of that super speedway luck to be on our side. Maybe we'll bring home a win next week.
That's right. That's what it's all about on the super speedways. Right place at the right time. Well, before I let you go, Garrett, is there anybody you would like to give any shout-outs to, any I love yous, any thank yous, any sponsors that you'd like to say thanks to before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. As always, I'd like to thank my wife for taking over bedtime on Thursday nights so I can get on here and race with everybody. That's probably my favorite sponsor, but also Shenandoah Shine for getting all of us out here. Just an awesome sim racing community for everyone. Everyone can check that out at discord.gg/Shenandoah Shine. And also Martin Sports, new partner at Shenandoah Shine. We have a lot of exciting things on the way and a big new product launch coming next week. So we're really excited for that. And yeah, we'll see everybody at Talladega.
Great. Well, congratulations on a phenomenal second place finish tonight, Garrett, and we'll see you next week in Alabama.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.
All right. Well, that's our second place finisher there. And you heard it. He just didn't have enough left at the end for the 49 of Clinton Sneed. But it all changes next week because strategy can not really mean a whole lot at a super speedway, especially like Talladega. Luck, right place at the right time is really what it's going to boil down to. Well, let's see if we can't get our winner, the victor tonight in the 49 of Clinton Sneed, and see what he has to say with our very own Craig A. Burns.
Clinton Sneed, this is Craig Burns and Ryan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you there, Craig.
Glenn, heck of a show out there for the Sneed Competition Designs number 49. Put it in victory lane here at Hot Atlanta. Walk us through the last 10 laps as you're battling Garrett Dolphin. You just passed Bradley Wilson. What's going through your mind here?
My mainly hoping for no cautions. I felt like I'd saved a decent amount on my tires, and I had been chipping away at both of them. Not as much Garrett as Bradley, but chipping away a little bit as we went there. And I thought I had the speed to get around them in the last 10 laps or so, but you never know. There was a lot of people on newer tires that were coming through the field really fast, and so yeah, you never know what's going to happen in one of these races. So I was fairly confident if it stayed green, but luckily it did.
Yeah, heck of a job out there for the 49 team. As we go to Talladega next week, any thoughts about that track? Do you like it? Do you hate it?
And I'm not much of a super speedway racer. My strategy usually is just try to keep it clean and be there at the end. And if I can get a top 5, I'll take it. I think I was 11th or 12th or something at Daytona, which we had 30 cars or something. So that's not too bad. But yeah, just trying to stay clean through those. I don't know. I'm certainly not good enough to drive my way to a win there. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Hopefully we can keep it clean and be around there at the end.
Well, Clinton, you drove her to a win tonight. Congratulations. Anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here?
Yeah, thanks to you guys at Evolution Racing Network putting on a great broadcast for us at the Thursday Night Throwdown. Thanks to Mitch and Gabe, my teammates, cheering me on there at the end and let me go to work. And thanks to all the racers for coming out. It's crazy that we've had this many consistent ARCA entries. So hopefully we'll keep digging on that and build the truck series up a little bit and see what we can do here in a little bit at the truck race.
Well, Clinton, good luck tonight, and you guys put on a heck of a show. Take it easy, man.
Thanks, Craig.
And that there, folks, was your first place victor, Clinton Sneed, in the 49 Sneak Competition car. Well, folks, that just about does it for us tonight, as we will throw up the race results here for you, as you can take a look and see where your favorite driver finished in the race tonight as we close out. But don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay tuned to Evolution Racing Network's YouTube page, Evolution Racing Network. Make sure you hit the bell, smash that like button, and follow us so you can see when we go live each and every Thursday night for the Thursday Night Throwdown series. We will be back in about 15 minutes for the Thursday Night Throwdown truck series, where these drivers, a lot of the drivers you saw tonight in the ARCA series, will be doing double duty and running in the trucks tonight from the Camping World trucks for 100 laps at Atlanta. 0 fast repairs, more on the line, more money to pay, and a lot more risk to be had with the tire wear. And before we close it out, I'm going to turn it over to Craig, but I just want to say thank each and every one of you guys for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to come back here in about 15 minutes or so and check out the boys as they go battle Hotlanta one more time in the Camping World trucks. So thank y'all for viewing. And Craig, any closing comments before we close this thing out?
All I want to say is that was a very exciting race to call. Thank you to all the fans out there watching. Thanks to the Thursday Night Throwdown for putting on a heck of a show tonight. Clinton C, congratulations. Out there, burn it down. I'm getting ready for the truck race, Ryan. It's going to be a fun one.
Yes, it is. And we hope each and every one of you guys come and watch that. You will not be disappointed, as we will be covering every lap live right here on Evolution Racing Network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, if you want to keep up with all the action, go to Evolution Racing Network's Facebook page, where you will be caught up to date each and every time we go live and about all the leagues that we are bringing in. But Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.